U.S. Copyright Office releases opinion on news publishing. This episode of Today in News Tech is made possible with audio articles by ourhometown.com. According to Ray Schultz at Publishers Daily, the U.S. Copyright Office has declined to add an ancillary copyright for publishers to protect them from use of their content by online news aggregators. The opinion, released last month, was requested by the Senate Subcommittee on Intellectual Property, which directed that the study to assess the viability of adding specific copyright protections, similar to those being implemented in Europe. Analyze the scope of such a right and how it coincides with existing rights such as those of underlying writers or visual artists. Include a discussion of relevant exceptions such as fair use or quotation. Here are the main takeaways. The office concludes that press publishers have significant protections under existing U.S. copyright law subject to important constitutional and statutory limitations, but that publishers' ability to assert those protections is affected by their bargaining power vis-à-vis news aggregators. Some elements of news articles are not protectable as a matter of constitutional law because they are facts or because the expression merges with the facts described. Smaller elements like headlines may not be copyrightable under the words and short phrases doctrine. Despite these protections, press publishers assert that they cannot insist on aggregators paying to reuse news content because of their relatively weak bargaining position. In particular, they depend on the major platforms, Google and Facebook, for a critical percentage of their web traffic. Finally, the opinion concludes that other proposed legislation would be more effective, specifically the Journalism Competition and Preservation Act, which aims to provide a safe harbor, limited in time and scope, for news publishers to collectively negotiate with Facebook and Google for fair compensation for the use of their content.
Today in News Tech, the podcast covering innovation in digital journalism. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe on YouTube or any of your favorite podcast apps. We'll see you tomorrow.
At our hometown, we help newspapers build WordPress websites, design native apps, and develop digital subscription models. If you are interested in a free prototype of your publication on WordPress, go to ourhometown.com and click the Contact Us button.